welcome to the fourth Summer Sock Camp Update 2024. My name's Gemma and this is a little mini series I'm doing following my adventures with sock knitting over the summer. This series has come about because I'm joining in with Crazy Sock Lady Summer Sock Camp, which pretty much does what it says on the tin. For the entirety of the US summer break, we knit socks. Doesn't matter what socks, doesn't matter how proficient you are with socks, whips count, any size, any craft, so knitting or crochet, just enjoy socks. And I am very much enjoying socks right now. So I thought I'd start by showing you my little box of socks because as I shared with you last time, I started building my own box of socks and it's looking a little bit different to last time. There are more pairs. I have actually finished another 3 pairs or 4 pairs since last time. 3 pairs, I think. Yeah, I finished 3 pairs of socks since the last time I spoke to you. So the first ones are, the first pair are the Lara Beach socks. So these are a double knitting weight sock yarn, it's acrylic and nylon. I've used it for socks, it can be used for anything obviously. In the Lara Beach colourway from King Cole Tropical Beaches collection. I really love the way they've knit up. It's a super soft yarn. It is going to pill like nobody's business, I'm sure of that. Just in how fluffy it's gone when I've been knitting it. But I love the colours, they're so joyous. I think you might recall that I said I'm going to make a garment in this yarn, and I've actually managed to order some of it. It's arrived, but at Yarningham I saw a lady wearing a jumper knit in the Lara Beach colourway, and me being me, anyone who knows me will know I'm prone to an unfiltered outburst, went, "Oh, Lara Beach!" and I just pointed at this poor woman. Oh, I wanted the ground to swallow me up. I was so embarrassed afterwards. I said, "I'm ever so sorry." I said, "I was just so excited to see your sweater. It's the Lara Beach colourway, isn't it? From King Cole Tropical Beaches, and it's so beautiful." She said, "Oh yeah, it is, thank you." And she relaxed as well. In the end, it wasn't as mortifying as it could have been. But it was embarrassing enough. So that's pair number 1. Pair number 2 is my mum's socks. So you'll remember these from a while ago. This is Cozy hand painted yarn from Cornwall. I had knit mum a sock originally according to my aunt's recipe. We discovered it was way too small for my mum, so I had to re-knit them, but I needed her to return the original sock to me so that I could rip it back and knit from it. So I got most of the way down the foot on the second sock. I want to say, I can't even tell which one was the second, so I think it might have been this one. I think I could feel something inside, but anyway. So I've polished that off last week, and she can't have them now until summer sock camp's finished because I want to have my finished box of socks to look at the end of the summer. So she's just going to have to wait. So that's that. This is a 4-ply sock yarn. I used my normal vanilla sock pattern. I cast on 62 stitches or 64. I've gone blank, I think it's 64 stitches. I think I did 15 rounds of cuff because I can't stand the cuff. It's my least favourite bit. I do as little as I can physically get away with. So yeah, so I did 15 rounds for that. I think I did 40 rounds at the end for the leg because she felt the leg was too long before. Standard slip stitch heel flap and gusset, and I went to 6.5 inches for the foot length because that's the measurement I was given. So there we are. The third pair I finished was a half object, and actually Robin had already had one of these and worn it. You might recall, if you've been following me for a while, he raided my sock whips and he pulled out 2 mismatched socks and wanted to put them on there and then. So it was Blue Lagoon, I think it was Blue Lagoon, and Rum Paradise. This is the one he's worn, and when I went to Yarningham I needed something simple to knit on and cast on, so I cast on the second sock. As you can see, there's a bit of a difference in the cuff size, but that's just the difference between being worn and not worn. That's all that is. So there we are. It really is that bright and cheerful as a colourway. I absolutely love it. It's called Rum Paradise and it's from West Yorkshire Spinners cocktail range. And I've shared before that I really, really love the cocktail yarns. It's a shame they've discontinued them, but there we go. So that's another finished pair of socks. So I've been on a bit of a roll. Admittedly, one of those is DK, one of those was a child's half object, and one of those was almost finished anyway. But it's by the by. I feel really proud of my progress there. I've ended up falling down a little bit of a rabbit hole because it is July, which is summer. But some people are doing Christmas in July. Lots of podcasts doing Christmas in July. And I don't really get it, if I'm honest. Summer is summer. We get so little summer. Let's just enjoy it. And Christmas is winter. That's a winter sport. However, having been sort of thinking about Christmas in July, because everyone's talking about Christmas in July, it's just got me feeling all nostalgic for those cozy evenings and hunkering down with a project and looking forward to watching people's vlogmases already. And so I've started getting a little bit festive. So I cast on a new project. You'll have to forgive me for them not being on sock blockers, but there you go. A Christmas sock in July. This is West Yorkshire Spinners. I know, West Yorkshire Spinners. I'm a paid up fan. I'm not sponsored, just a really, really big fan of their sock yarn particularly. Signature 4-ply. I'm so excited I've forgotten what I'm saying. Signature 4-ply in vintage tinsel. And I've used licorice, which is the black, for the toe, cuff, heel and toe. Reason being, I need this one ball of yarn to go around all three of us for our Christmas Eve box. So this is my husband's first Christmas sock. I love the sparkle. It's really showing up well in this evening light. So maybe the evening light is when I should record in future. But there we are. Ooh. I love it. I love it. I've got all Christmas in July. Ooh. I've not gone completely mad, but I am very much enjoying knitting Christmas socks. And I'm very pleased to think that it won't be the usual bonkers rush to get it finished by Christmas Day. That in mind, I've gone ahead and pulled out, it's another sparkly one. Look at the sparkle. Ooh. I've gone ahead and pulled out Nutcracker, which was last year's Christmas sock yarn. I'm a fair way away from managing to do a box of Christmas socks a la Jude. Or actually Nikki's just now finished hers from Tea and Possibilities. I love that Nikki's filming again. I do enjoy her videos. But I totally get the feeling that you have to knit for production and that you have to turn up every week and all the rest of it. I'm in a place at the moment where I'm enjoying my making and I'm enjoying turning up every week, so that's great. But yeah, I do get that. But anyway, she's just finished her box of socks. Jude's got a festive box of socks. I'm gonna have one. It might take me a few more years, but hey. So this one I was thinking of doing a different contrast with, but I kind of think it's going to lend itself to the licorice again. I think it will go with licorice, or I could use gold. West Yorkshire Spinners has a really good range of solid colours to go with their self-striping, so I'm not sure what I'm going to use, but I'm very excited because this will be my next cast on. And I'm showing you this now because it's the 23rd of July. I'm recording this on the, or is it 24th? 24th of July, and I'm recording this on Wednesday. Usually I'd record on a Thursday or Friday and upload on a Sunday, but I've got the time at the moment and the inclination to record. So these will be on the needles by the next time I chat to you, possibly even finished, and that's within July, but I won't talk to you now until August because I'm kind of doing these sock updates every 2 weeks or so. So I just wanted to get it out there and show you my Christmas sock plans. So there you go, Christmas in July. Now, that is not the only sock I've been working on. I have cast off 3. I've only cast on 2 since I last spoke to you that are entirely new pairs. I've been very good and I have picked up, it's in my sock sack here that I'm just opening, this is from Bellica Yarns. I have picked up a pair to finish for Robin. So like the Rum Paradise, these ones I picked up from the yarn dispensary 2 weekends ago when I went to visit. I was up in Kent for the Search Press sales conference, and I popped down to the yarn dispensary, which is the shop I used to manage in Kent. Oh, it's just amazing there. Helen's doing such a good job, and the windows are just amazing, and the vibe is great. It's just, everything's as it should be. It's just perfect. Anyway, I picked up these socks, which were hose that I'd done for the new colourways, because Robin is growing out of his socks and I do need them back now. So I've picked up this one, which is Green Woodpecker. I cast on the other night and I've whisked down and I've almost finished the leg. I only do 30 rounds for the leg for Robin's socks at the moment. 15 round cuff, 30 rounds for the leg. It's actually 52 stitches on this one. It's a bit bigger, so I'm not sure how they're going to fix. I'm kind of trying to anticipate his foot growth for the autumn winter. But yeah, so by the time I see you next, they should be finished as well. I know they're Green Woodpecker, but I'm kind of forcibly reminded of like F1 racing somehow looking at this. I don't know why. If anyone's got any ideas, but there you go. They're not intentionally matching. It's just the way it's worked out. I didn't deliberately wind off yarn to match the two socks, but as it happens, it looks like they are going to match, which is pretty cool. I'm also a fourth whip down because another one has hit the frog pond since last time I spoke to you. This ball of beauteousness is a Fibre Punk Greenbow, and I had cast it on a while ago to be Lyric pattern from 52 Weeks of Socks Volume 1. Put a picture up here if I've got one. And I was absolutely loving it. The yarn lent itself to the pattern really beautifully. It's kind of a travelling cable. I usually do just perfectly plain vanilla for self-striping, but I was really keen to showcase Marcus's yarn and do something a little bit different. However, I allowed my students to knit on this during my Knitting in the Round course back in February, I want to say, and I couldn't figure out how to pull it back to where I was, and so in the end I needed the needles for the Christmas socks, so this hit the frog pond, so that one has gone. But I have big plans for 52 Weeks of Socks, which I will share next time. The final new cast on that I have since I've seen you last, if you watch my podcast you'll have seen this already because I was so excited about it I had to share it. It is in the middle of a row, but that's because I'm in the middle of doing a German short row heel, which is a whole new adventure for me. I am always doing the slip stitch heel flap and gusset. It fits me well. I've memorized the pattern. Why would I do anything else? However, it's summer sock camp and it's all about having new adventures, and I'm doing these updates, and although I'm not knitting the socks for the updates, mindful that I'm doing these updates, I thought it'd be interesting to try something new and share that with you. So I was at Yarningham, I mentioned that like 3 times already, supporting Mina, the knitting expat, on her designer booth. It was her first ever festival and she rocked it. She was amazing. And so obviously I had to cast on a pattern that was one of hers. So I grabbed the only ball of yarn I had that was caked up, that was plain and would show off the pattern, and cast on at the weekend. And here we are. This is the driftwood pattern. And I had some trouble with it. There we go. You can really see it now. It looks almost geometric, doesn't it? The way it goes almost looks like zigzags. And it's really beautiful. It looks complicated, but actually it's dead simple. And it's from her Beyond Vanilla collection, bundle 1. So the Beyond Vanilla sock collection by Knitting Expat is aimed at those people who've done vanilla socks, or perhaps only really have enjoyed vanilla socks and had no problem with vanilla. There's nothing wrong with vanilla socks. I am a very big vanilla sock fan. Case in point, this box is entirely vanilla socks. I'm so proud of this box. So it's the next step. It's dipping your toe, as it were, into the world of pattern socks. And there's 8 patterns in total. 8 in total? I think it's 8. In 2 collections of 4, 2 bundles of 4. And so I picked these ones, which are the driftwood socks. And it's a really simple pattern. but really addictive, really fun to work. I've really enjoyed it so far. Now I like quite a short leg on my socks, so I've only done 40 rounds until I've started the heel, and I did and ah about it, and I must admit I knit an entire other sock while I was debating what heel to put into this one. So the entirety of the Christmas sock came about because I was dithering over whether I wanted to just do my Old Faithful, because Mina does say in the pattern you can substitute whatever heel you like, but she gives the instructions for a German short row heel. I have not done a German short row heel before, and I thought, well, now's as good a time as any. So I have dived in, and I was hoping before I started recording tonight to have had more of the heel turned up. I'm struggling to see how this is turning the heel at the moment. I'm not having that, ooh, it's working moment, that kind of light bulb moment of excitement that you get when you've done the slip stitch heel flap and then you turn the heel and you've got a definitive right angle. I'm really a little bit confused by this. I don't think I'm doing it wrong. I'm following Mina's pattern. Mina's pattern is really well explained, so it's not that. I think it's just first time nerves, really. I'm a little bit nervous that I'm doing something wrong. So I'm about a third of the way through the first half of the heel, and then you go back the other way and work the rows bigger again. From what I can gather, you start working the short rows, and so the rows get shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter, and then on the way back you work them and they gather all in again, longer and longer and longer, and that gives you this shape here. It's not too dissimilar in shape to an afterthought heel, and I can wear afterthought heels, so that's fine. And I didn't really fancy cutting my knitting today, so that's fine. But yeah, I'm just giving it a go. So far, so okay. I'm going to say so good. I've got no idea how the fit's going to be. But I'd love to know, what are your favourite heels for socks? Do you have a favourite heel for a sock? Is there a go-to? Is there one you've memorised? I know some people are like hard up Fish Lips Kiss heel fans. Other people love the German short row. I've Partridge is one I've heard of a lot. There's another one that Earth Tones Girl does a lot, Denise, and I can't now think what it's called, but it's quite a common one. So I'd love to know, what heels have you tried? Which ones are the most successful? Do you have a go-to? Should I just embrace the fun and try all these different heels? Because up to now, I've only done the heel flap and gusset and the afterthought heel. And to be honest, the afterthought heel is fine. I've just immediately reverted back to doing the slip stitch heel flap and gusset. Jude had to literally hold my hand and make me cut my knitting with my scissors to get me to do the afterthought heels. He'd cranked some sock snakes for me for my first yarn show, the Wool Monty, back in 2019. Such a long time ago. And all they needed was heels. And he said, you can do it, just cut into them. There's a tutorial on my YouTube. And I watched it. I was like, no, I can't cut my knitting. And it's not even my knitting, it's Jude's knitting. And I know he cranked it on his sock machine, but that's really not the point. Anyway, it's really not that scary. It's fine. When you actually do it, it's totally fine. But yeah. So let me know how you feel about heels. I would love to know. And that's it for sock knitting. There are obviously other pairs that I haven't touched, but you know that. My actual sock whip count is reducing, despite the fact that 3 of these pairs of socks were completely new. I've completed 3 whips and 3 new cast ons, so I don't think that's going too badly. So I completed 3 new cast ons, 3 whips, and frogged 1. So I've got rid of 4 existing, yeah, I think that's right. I've got rid of 4 existing works in progress so far. So my overall count is coming down for socks that I've got to finish. Even with the 2 new cast ons here, this one won't take me long because it's for me and I've got tiny feet. My feet are ridiculous, and I can't imagine this one taking long either. And obviously Robin's is an existing work in progress as well, so that's where I am. Thank you so much for joining me again. I'm feeling quite festive. The ambience behind me is quite cozy, as you can see. We've had guests, so we've had a candle on to make it smell nice, and It's only the 24th of July. I think that makes us a month after the solstice. But gosh, I'm really feeling the evenings drawing in. It's got to be pushing 8 o'clock, but it's so much darker than it has been. So I'm going to go and get cozy and carry on knitting while doing lots of reading for my neuroscience course, because I've got 3 days to finish that. Wish me luck. Bye.